Hello everyone, my name is Big Boy Snatch on TV, aka what kind of snatch you want because I got plenty around. This is my AEW Dynamite review on highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please full watch the video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content where I give you guys the full breakdown of my review and after half my review. Check out my WWE NXT review on highlights and follow my social media down below in the description. Now let's get started. Now AEW Dynamite was a decent B- show and I give it a 5 out of 10. Alright. It says AEW Dynamite was live from Kent, Washington, Seattle, Accessio Showwear Center. Alright, it says AEW Dynamite kicks off with Pro Pyro as we see Tony Storm entering the arena and she is attacked by Mercedes Moné. Tony Storm is thrown into the equipment crates. Mercedes Moné says, "Welcome to Dynamite," and throws Tony Storm from the back towards the stage and in front of the fans. Mercedes Moné calls her a you know what, and if Tony Storm wants to play, they can play. She gets a modified crossface on Tony Storm as AEW officials come out and break it up. And thank God that AEW Dynamite is back for 2 hours instead of 4 hours. Thank God. That's all I gotta say. Mina Sakura music hits and out she comes as Mercedes Moné. Let's go up the hole. Mercedes Moné tells Tony Storm, let the games begin, and she throws the microphone on Tony Storm. I'm afraid that Mercedes Moné is going to get 7 belts when she beat Tony Storm at AEW All in Texas. All right, but I got a great feeling that Tony Storm might beat Mercedes Moné, so Mercedes Moné can lose everything. But we'll find out at AEW All In Texas. All right, let me continue. We cut to the announcer team, but we hear Matthew and Nicholas Jackson talking, and the camera cuts to the giant stage. They say that they use their backstage influence to get Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay's match move up. It's not later tonight, it's right now. Alright, so we get Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland versus Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. And this match right here, this was a this match right here, this was not a bad match, but yeah, this was not a bad match. It was just a um decent match. Decent match for what it was. Alright. The bell rings, we are underway. Swerve Strickland and Lee Johnson start the match. Swerve Strickland goes for a suplex, but Lee Johnson lands on his feet and rolls to the corner as Blake Christian is tagged in. Swerve Strickland tags Will Ospreay into the match. Will Ospreay with chops to the chest and Blake Christian is thrown to the ropes, but Blake Christian lands a hurricanrana. Blake Christian runs towards Will Ospreay, but Will Ospreay with a boot to the face, followed by an atomic drop. Swerve Strickland is tagged in and they double team Blake Christian. In comes Lee Johnson, but he is knocked down. Swerve Strickland tags Will Ospreay in as he goes for the cover, but Blake Christian kicks out. Will Ospreay to the ropes and he lands a kick to the head. Lee Johnson gets in the ring and Will Ospreay throws him into the outside. Will Ospreay with a crossbody over the top rope onto Lee Johnson on the outside of the ring. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson music hits and out they come. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, Blake Christian with a 450 splash onto Will Ospreay. He goes for the cover, but Will Ospreay kicks out. He throws Will Ospreay into the corner, but Will Ospreay with a big boot onto Lee Johnson, taking him down. Will Ospreay with a kick to the side of the head onto Blake Christian, and Swerve Strickland is tagging. Lee Johnson gets in the ring, and Swerve Strickland takes both men down. Swerve Strickland on the ring apron, and he kicks Lee Johnson in the face, followed by a jumping DDT onto Blake Christian. He goes for the cover, but Blake Christian kicks out. In comes Lee Johnson, but Will Ospreay takes him down. Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay double team Blake Christian, and lands a brain buster. I don't know why I said Blake Griffin. That slips out. But I was trying to say Blake Christian. Alright, anyway, Swerve Strickland with the house call. He goes for the cover and gets the pin. The winner of the tag team match, Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland. This tag team match, it was just a decent tag team match for what it was. The EVP calls for security as Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay were about to go after them. Security gets in their way as Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay gets back into the ring. Swerve Strickland Swerve Strickland, since years after year, people had to do with bull crap from the EVP. He won't he won't go another year dealing with them. Forrest Strickland looks at Wells Ray and says they will do something about it. They challenged the Young Bucks to a match at AEW All In Texas, and Wells Ray mentions that the Young Bucks put the EVP titles on the line. It says a good start to AEW. It says good start to AEW Dynamite. I wasn't a big fan of Mercedes Moné and Tony Storm segment, but I understand why they did it. For me, having referees come out and just count without uh, actually stopping her is just weird. I hate when companies do that. It says not not a bad tag team match. It was all about the aftermath. Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay challenged the Young Bucks at AEW All In Texas. Hashtag AEW Dynamite, which is I agree with that. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, the Young Bucks are backstage and they tell Swerve Strickland that the pay per view that appear the AEW rule book. Swerve Strickland puts his hands on the AEW official and is suspended for the week without pay. In comes Kazuchika Okada, who says he has some friends, and then comes the Don Callis family. The Young Bucks laugh and leave, and the segment ends with Okada and Takeshita face to face. All right, so we get the next match: Kota Ibushi versus Shrimp with accompanied by Rocky Romero. And this match right here, and yeah, this was the and this match right here, um, it would the match itself was just okay for what it was. This was an okay match for what it was. The bell rings were underway. The fans chant Ibushi and Ibushi with a front headlock, but Trent gets out of it. Ibushi with a drop kick and Trent is down in the corner. Romero gets on a ring apron and that distracts Ibushi as Trent hits him with a clothesline forearm to the face by Trent, followed by a boot to the face, and Ibushi falls to the outside of the ring. Trent distracts the referee as Romero with a big boot onto Ibushi. Trent to the outside and he pushes Ibushi into the barricade. Trent throws Ibushi back in the ring, went into the ring. He runs towards Ibushi, but Ibushi with a power slam and both men are down. Ibushi with a kick takes Trent down. Ibushi with a standing moonsault, he goes for the cover, but Trent kicks out. Ibushi goes for a full Nelson, but Trent gets out of it, and he lands a kick to the face. Trent with a running kick to the face, followed by a power driver. He goes for the cover, but Ibushi kicks out. Trent with slaps to the face as Ibushi gets to his feet and chops Trent in the chest. He goes for a kick. Trent ducks and lands a dragon suplex. Ibushi gets right back up and lands a dragon suplex onto Trent. Ibushi goes for the cover, but Trent kicks out. Trent with a curve flick cover on Ibushi, but Ibushi kicks out. Trent with a clothesline followed by a right hand. He goes for another right hand, but Ibushi with a double underhook. He slams Trent onto the mat and double stomp by Ibushi onto Trent. Ibushi with a running knee to the face, followed by a knee to the face. He goes for the cover and gets the pin. The winner of the match, Kota Ibushi. And this match right here, this was okay match for what it was. Kazuchika Okada music hits and out he comes into the ring. Both men are face to face in the middle of the ring. Okada backs away and leaves the ring with the fans booing. It is announced that next week on Dynamite 300 it will be Kazuchika Okada against Kota Ibushi. All right, we cut to a video of John Moxley in a stairway. He says Hangman Page has lost focus. Will he grab it? John Moxley says he doesn't think Page will. He says Page is afraid to become what the world needs him to be. He says for someone like himself to walk the walk he did, for him to be the current AEW champion. Hangman Page makes him sick. He calls him a crybaby. He says the world champion does not shy away from responsibility. He walks into the fire and takes an ounce of crap from nobody. He says on July 12th, when Hangman Page is feeling with his emotions, he will get elbowed in the face uh, uh, and and cook into oblivion. John Moxley will show the world what the world champion looks like. Somebody needs to take the AEW World Championship off of John Moxley. It is John Moxley is killing the AEW World Championship. Give it to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But I hope Darby Allin comes back. I hope he does. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So I hope that Hangman Page take the title off of John Moxley. But if not, then who will? It is what it is. Ibushi against Beretta was the same as the tag team match. It it had all it, it had all about the aftermath. Okada and Ibushi got a loud reaction from the crowd. All right, so we go to commercial break. So we get Ricochet, AR Fox versus Jet Speed, Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight. And this tag team match right here, this was a solid tag team match. The bell rings, we are underway. Ricochet tells AR Fox that he will start the match. All four men are in the ring and begin fighting. Bailey throws AR Fox to the outside and Ricochet is between both men. They double team him and AR Fox is tag in. Jet Speed double team him. Bailey runs towards AR Fox, but AR Fox throws him into the outside and takes Kevin Knight down. Alright. It says both men. They double team him and AR Fox is tagging. Jet Speed double teaming him. Bailey runs towards AR Fox, but AR Fox throws him to the outside and takes Kevin Knight down. AR Fox with a clothesline. He goes for the cover, but AR Fox. AR Fox. It says cover, but AR Fox kicks out. I'm sorry. But in comes Ricochet, but AR Fox hits him with a clothesline to the outside of the ring. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, Ricochet and AR Fox are not on the same page as one page for a suplex and the other doesn't. They argue at they argue and it ends with AR Knight hitting AR Fox with a big boot and Ricochet is thrown to the outside. Bailey is tagged in and he hits AR Fox with kicks. Bailey with a running shooting star. He goes for the cover, but Ricochet kicks out. Kevin Knight is tagging as he is, and Bailey lands a double drop kick onto Ricochet. They double team AR Fox in the ring. Kevin Knight goes for the cover, but AR Fox kicks out. Bailey is tagged back in, but he was dragged to the outside, and Ricochet throws Bailey into the ring. Ring steps AR Fox with a suicide dive onto Bailey, and he throws Bailey back into the ring. Bailey with a kick to the face and climbs to the top rope, but AR Fox with a drag fly. Kevin Knight tags Bailey in, and as AR Fox goes for a tag. Ricochet drops off the ring apron. He turns around and Kevin Knight with a drop kick followed by a sky high. Kevin Knight climbs the top rope and he lands a UFO splash. Kevin Knight goes for the cover and gets the pin. The winner of the match, Jet Speed. This was a decent tag team match. All right, let's move on. Ricochet uh unwrap his wrist tape on stage and heads to the back. Tony Schiavone Tony Schiavone is on stage and he speaks with the jet speed. Bailey tells him with great power comes great responsibilities, but the AEW tag titles have been held hostage for too long and it's time someone come to the rescue. Kevin Knight agrees with Bailey and he says it's time for those titles to come home and that is around the waist. 1, 2, you hear the clock ticking. TikTok, you're hunting some feelings. As Kevin Knight is talking, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin attack them from behind. Out comes MVP and MJF. With them smiling, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin throws them into the ring steps. Barricade as the ring apron. MVP tells MJF to go with him, and they head to the back. Double snap suplex onto the floor, onto the outside. MVP and MJF brings out a table, and Sean Benjamin places Kevin Knight on it. Bobby Lashley lifts Bailey up and choke slams him through Kevin Knight and through the table. MVP asks for a microphone. He says now that they have taken care of that little business. MVP asks for music. MJF stands behind them, and MVP tells them to start walking to the ring. MVP says, "This is an official announcement from the Hurt Syndicate." He asks for someone to stand up to the AEW Tag Team Champions. And speaking of standing up, if Jet Speed can't even stand up after that beating, he will be too willing to meet them at AEW All In for the tag team titles on that on the condition they can walk. MVP asks for everyone in the undivided attention as he hands the microphone over to the young genius MJF. The fans boo and MJF thanks MVP. MJF says last week he unmasked and defeated the Lucha Libre legend. MVP cuts him off as the fans boo MJF. He tells them to show MJF respect. MJF says he is not there to talk about all of his accomplishments. He says next week he will be entering a qualifying match for the men's casino gauntlet at AEW All In Texas. And when he wins, he is going to get one step closer to what is rightfully his. Not a dictator. John Johns and not their crook cowboy hangman, but his AEW World Championship. MJF tells them to hit their music as they post, but Mark Briscoe music hits and now he comes. Mark Briscoe tells MJF that they all know that MJF can listen to himself talk all night long. However, the producer said that MJF is taking so long once again, and they will hear Mark Briscoe's music. Mark Briscoe asks them to leave the ring, so what that way he can take care of business. MJF says he doesn't care about what time it is. They can take up as much time as they want because unlike Mark Briscoe, they are actually stars. MJF says the fans love Mark Briscoe and they like him because they can relate to him. They all grew up they all grew up dirt ugly and dirt poor. He is willing to bet that anyone in the arena and at home have as much bills in their pocket as he does teeth in his mouth. MJF calls Mark Briscoe a blue collar you know what. Mark Briscoe calls him hilarious, but he sees his inner turmoil, that pain where it all comes from. He says the word of the day is empathy, and the fans chant empathy. And Mark Briscoe says that MJF is trying to the compensate for something, like all of these hurtful comments from him. Once from a place is instructive in a place of. He says if he was MJF going 30 years with a teeny tiny Koshker pickle in his pants. That part was funny by Mark Briscoe. He would hang out with those guys too. That part was funny. Alright. MVP tells Mark Briscoe that they are about business. This is not business. He tells MVP that they will all exit the ring as the fans chant Koshker Pickle. MVP says they will exit the ring and leave Mark Briscoe to do does better than anyone else, and they will watch him lose. He says, not a fan of the tag team match. I first saw Mike Bailey live a few years ago and spoke to him at a restaurant after a local indie show. Nice to see him make it to a big company, but him against anyone of the Hurt Syndicate, I can't buy. Men against boys. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. A great promo from the Hurt Syndicate and Mark Briscoe. Same funny comments from all involved. This was a good segment between Mark Briscoe and the Hurt Syndicate. All right, let me continue. So we go to commercial break. Fatal 4-Way number one spot in the men's casino gauntlet at AEW All In Texas. Kanushka Takeshita versus Mark Briscoe versus Bandito versus Roderick Armstrong. Roderick Strong, I'm sorry. Yeah, Roderick Strong. And this match right here, this was a fun match for what it was. Yeah, this was a fun Fatal 4-Way match for what it was. The Bell Wings were underway. All four men brought in the ring. Strong and Mark Briscoe fight on one side, and Takeshita and Bandito fight on the other side. Bandito with a drop kick and Takeshita to the outside of the ring. Bandito to the outside, and Takeshita is thrown into the barricade. Um, Roger Strong with a right hand onto Mark Briscoe in the ring, but Mark Briscoe with a forearm. Mark Briscoe to the ropes, and he kicks Takeshita down. Mark Briscoe on the ring apron, and he takes Bandito down. Roger Strong with a baseball slide. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, Roger Strong with a drop kick onto Mark Briscoe, and comes Bandito and Roger Strong with a backbreaker. Takeshita in the ring, and he is thrown to the outside, and as is Mark Briscoe. Bandito and Roger Strong with a double close on both men to their feet, and Bandito with a cutter in midair. Bandito climbs to the top rope, but Takeshita pushes him off to the outside. Takeshita climbs to the top rope, but Mark Briscoe pushes him down. Mark Briscoe climbed the top rope, and he goes for a elbow, but Roger Strong moves out of the way. Roger Strong with a chop to the chest, and both men exchange chops. Roger Strong with an Olympic slam. In comes to Keshka, and he kicks Roger Strong in the face. He places Roger Strong on the top rope. Takeshita on the top rope, and he lands a superplex. Mark Briscoe and Bandito on the top rope. Mark Briscoe with an elbow and Bandito with a frog splash. They go for covers, but Roger Strong and Takeshita kicks out. Bandito and Mark Briscoe with chops. Bandito goes for a German suplex, but in comes Takeshita and his double team, and in comes Takeshita and it's a double German suplex. Takeshita goes for the cover, but Roger Strong breaks it up. Roger Strong with a knee followed by a double knees. Roger Strong runs towards Takeshita, but Takeshita with a blue thunder bomb. He goes for the cover and gets a and, Ro- he goes for the cover, and Roger Strong kicks out. Um, so the winner of the match. The winner of the match, Mark Briscoe. This was a fun Fatal 4-Way match. What it was, Bandino, Bandino. It says Bandino with their knee to the face onto Takeshita. Bandino with a German suplex. With the German suplex, but the Takeshita rolls to the outside. Bandino to the ropes, but Roger Strong with a knee to the face, followed by a double knees. Mark Briscoe with a froggy ball off the top rope. He goes for the cover and gets the pin. The winner of the match, Mark Briscoe. This was a fun Fatal 4-Way match for what it was. We cut to Adam Cole, who is backstage. He makes an open challenge for his TNT challenge against anyone from the Don Callis family tomorrow night on AEW Collision. I don't watch AEW Collision. Thank God I don't. All right, so we get the next match: Fatal 4-Way number one spot in the Women's Casino Gauntlet at AEW All In Texas. Athena versus Will Nightingale versus Thunder Rosa versus Chris Statlander, and that match itself right there, um, the match itself, it was just I wasn't even feeling it. It was this was a boring no, not boring. I changed my mind. This was a solid match, even though it is what it is. This was a solid Fatal 4-Way match. The bell rings. We are underway. Athena takes all three women down. She climbed the top rope, but Chris Statlander with a kick to the face. Chris Statlander and Thunder Rosa get on the second rope. Will Nightingale goes under them, and his double suplex powerbomb off the top rope. All right. Let's move on. Commercial break. Bathroom commercial. Thunder Rosa with the clothesline onto Athena. Thunder Rosa to the ropes, but Athena catches her and slams her onto the mat. Athena gets Thunder Rosa on her shoulders, but Thunder Rosa reverses it and back on falls back into a perfect cover. But Athena kicks out. In comes Will Nightingale and Chris Statlander, who takes both women out. Will Nightingale and Chris Statlander are face to face, and both women with elbows to the face. In comes Athena, who kicks them both, but they double suplex her. Thunder Rosa on the top rope, and she lands a double drop kick onto Chris Statlander and Will Nightingale. Thunder Rosa goes for the cover, but Will Nightingale kicks out. Athena to the ropes. Thunder Rosa with a sunset flip, but Athena gets to her feet. She lifts Thunder Rosa up, but Christiana pushes Thunder Rosa onto Athena, and in comes Will Nightingale, who goes for the cover, but Thunder Rosa breaks it up. Thunder Rosa with a drop kick onto Christiana. Thunder Rosa to the ropes, but Athena drags her to the outside and slams her. Thunder Rosa pushes Athena down and drives her onto the ring steps. She grabs Athena, but Athena with their right hand, and she suplexes Thunder Rosa off the ring steps onto the outside. In the ring, Will Nightingale with the cannonball in the corner, who in the corner onto Chris Statlander. Will Nightingale grabs Chris Statlander, but out comes Maria Shafir and that distracts Will Nightingale. Wheeler Yuta comes from behind. Will Nightingale grabs her, but Will Nightingale with a shoulder tackle takes him down. Chris Statlander with a spike power driver onto Will Nightingale. She goes for the cover and gets the win. The winner of the match, Chris Statlander. This was a solid fatal four-way match. What it was. All right, let's move on. I was not a fan of that women's fatal four-way match. Not trying to be negative, but it was. But if it wasn't sloppy, it was too choreographic. I didn't enjoy that one. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. All right, commercial break. So we get the main event of the evening. So we get Hangman Page versus the Beast Motoros. This was a squash main event match. The bell rings. We are underway. Motoros with an armbar, followed by a headlock, but Hangman Page gets out of it. Hangman Page with a headlock, and Motoros throws him to the ropes, and Motoros with a hip toss. Both men exchange reversals, and Motoros with a chop to the headbutt. Alright. Motoros goes for a knee to the face and goes for Motoros goes for a knee to the face in the corner, but Hangman Page moves out of the way and Motoros falls to the outside of the ring. Hangman Page throws Motoros back into the ring and he lands a fall away slam into the corner. Hangman Page goes for the cover, but Motoros kicks out. All right, so we're going to commercial break. Back from the final break of the evening. All right, yeah. Back from commercial, which is the final break of the evening. Motoros with a pop up Samoan drop. He goes for the cover, but Hangman Page kicks out. Motoros goes for a close up, but Hangman Page ducks and lands a poison rana. Hangman Page with a lariat, and he gets on the ring apron. He lands the buckshot lariat. Hangman Page goes for the cover and gets the pin. The winner of the match, Hangman Adam Page. This was a squash main event match. What it was. All right. He he his hand is raised in the air after the match as the lights go out. The lights turn back on, and we have the Young Bucks in the ring. They hit Page with the EVP trigger. Out comes John Moxley and the Death Riders. They get in the ring, and John Moxley has a steel chair in his face. He chose him and Page with the chain, but out comes Samoa Joe, Powerhouse House, Shibata, and Will Ospreay as the Death Riders leave the ring and Dynamite goes off there. Not a bad main event. I am not a fan of Dynamite always having an overrun. It just make doesn't make it feel special anymore. For me, it makes it look like they can't manage their time. The stuff with the Death Riders and everyone coming out at the end wasn't bad either. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. But somebody needs to take the title AEW World Championship off of John Moxley because he is killing John Moxley is killing with the AEW killing the AEW World Champion. But I hope Darby Allin comes back. But anyway, AEW Dynamite goes off the air. And thank God for 1 second. Yeah, thank God that AEW is not on 4 hours anymore. AEW is back to 2 hours, and I'm glad AEW is back on 2 hours instead of 4 hours because I cannot sit there and watch that 4 hour of AEW Dynamite. I want to watch the 2 hours AEW Dynamite. That's about it. So anyway, AEW Dynamite was a decent B minus show for what it was, and I give it a 5 out of 10. But anyway, if you guys enjoy my AEW Dynamite review on highlights, make sure you guys please full watch the video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content that I do on the channel, where I give you guys the full breakdown of my review and not the half of my review. Follow my social media down below in the description, and go check out my WWE NXT review and highlights. And I'll see you guys tomorrow live on Twitch for some retro gaming. And that's all I gotta say. I want you guys to have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. And I will see you guys tomorrow live on Twitch for some retro gaming. It is time for me to get affiliate. So guys, help me out, help me get to affiliate, so I can get the subs and all that stuff, and get the bits and all that stuff. So make sure you guys make sure you guys come to my live stream on Twitch and watch me play retro gaming because I need to have 3 average viewers in 4 different days just to get to affiliate. Because I've been grinding and staying consistent on Twitch. And that's all I gotta say. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. And stay too sweet. I'm out of here, gang. And I will see you guys in my world premiere of my AEW Dynamite review and highlights. I'm trying to have more than 3 people come to my world premiere. So I'll see you guys in my world premiere of my AEW Dynamite review and highlights. Stay too sweet. Have a blessed night, gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet, gang.